love. Really fall in love, but your life depends on that love. Check it. For the average ghetto child, a yellow brick road is dim. The lights are blacked out and the chances are cut slim. The success rate never outweighs the opposite. Money, cash, hoes is something we gotta get. Boys learn how to be men from getting caught up, and grown women can't find time to raise daughters. So this is what happens when a girl is left out. A future princess forced to the next route. Her name was Heaven, beautiful from day one. An angel on earth if God ever made one. But she was born and raised in the pits of poverty. Cocaine deals, homicides, and robberies. Daddy walked out on Heaven before preschool. Mommy wasn't around to show her what the streets do. She was finding out what a bottle of Hennessy does, and hated her daughter for being prettier than she was. Seemed like Heaven knew anything but that. The older she got, the more hell would come back. By the time she was approaching 13, she knew how to lick them lips and work jeans. 18 came and went, and so did high school. She paid the bills by fucking with the right dudes, but she wasn't known for hoeing in the streets. Classy with hers, no ass, just hugs. Something like a female Mac, full blown. Never fall in love with him, you know the code. But all that changed when our eyes were placed upon Marcus, neighborhood hustler, heartless. Grew up the same way Heaven did. Parents was deadbeats, so we felt Heaven was heaven sent. Started off slow, then it grew sky high. Ladies and gents, meet the new Bonnie and Clyde. They say true romance is hard to get to know, and the ones with it never really let it grow. But when it's hood, the real stick by one another, and you ride or die for your lover, and that's real. The more time passed, the more they were together. They both found love, so they was down for whatever. He gave her quality time, she would hide as bricks. Soulmates, he called her his ride or die bitch. Needless to say, she dead at the blind dates. Marcus was still in the streets, but why wait? He took her out of her home, took her out of her hell. She said bye to Reebok, said hi to Chanel. Anything Heaven wanted, Marcus gave her, and she adored him, looked up to him like a savior. She would be his lookout when he was doing dirt. He gave her a 22, made her keep it in her purse, showed her where the stash was under the mattress, and she would give him back rubs without him asking. He made her bag dues, flirt a little bit, go on dates while Marcus would stick up the crib. They was ruthless, but honestly, how could you blame them? They only had each other, nothing is what they came from. But the hood was hating. When they saw the money they was making, the cops was sent in to break them. Heaven got rid of the coke before they kicked in, so Marcus was only charged for breaking and entering. Judge hit him off with a mandatory 5. Small bid, but Heaven knows he couldn't do the time. For the first 2 weeks, Heaven fell apart. She ain't just lose a man, she lost her heart. And every week she was sending them letters and pictures. Slide through on a visit, give him weed and she kissed him. 6 months passed and Marcus couldn't take it. Being in the box was stripping his heart naked. Fuck that, he wrote back in one of his letters, Daddy's coming home, I need a piece of heaven. They say true romance is hard to get to know, and the ones with it never really let it grow. But when it's hood, the real stick by one another, and you ride or die for your lover, and that's real. On a late night, Marcus kidnapped one of the guards and snuck past the security margin. Dressed like a CO, he met Heaven in the next town with a rental car. But little did he know, word spread fast that an inmate dashed, and pigs from all over was plotting on his ass. Cop cars flying at 110 speed, tipped off by a gas station at 10D. Shots start going off, aiming at the rental. Heaven at the wheel, and shit is getting suspenseful. One flew through the back, caught Marcus in the back and tapped the bone. He felt something crack. Heaven started crying and sweating all heavy, doubling the speed limit but holding it steady. Marcus told Shorty to drive to the crib. She thought he was crazy but still listened to her baby. Parked out front and dragged him up the stairs. Went inside and laid on the floor scared. The bullet still sitting there stuck in his spine. He whispered to his woman that he wanted to die. Now she getting hysterical, taking it hard. He said, before I go to jail, I'd rather die in your arms. She crawled to the mattress, pulled out the 9, kissed him goodbye and helped him close his eyes. With his lifeless frame laying there in her lap, her heart felt weak, her soul started to crack. She started hearing sirens, the D's was coming, but without her other half, she couldn't see running. Cops started kicking in the door, all reckless. She took a deep breath and reached for a weapon, put it in her mouth and ruined the cops' plans. Squeezed the trigger, she was back with a man in heaven.